Another great question from a mom of a 16-month-old. Dear Dr. Meeker, our 16-month-old son has a pattern of biting other kids at daycare. He's on a 3-month correction plan, or he'll be kicked out of daycare. We've tried calmly telling him not to bite. We've tried shouting at him, no bite. We feel like we're in need of a strategy. We need ways to know if what we're doing is getting through to him. So much of what we've read about kids biting is targeted towards children who are more verbal, explaining that biting is bad. Our son isn't at that stage. Pediatrician said that something that our pediatrician said that this is something kids do sometimes and he'll grow out of it. Help. Well, your pediatrician is absolutely right. I read somewhere that about 50% of kids bite, which means the other 50% get bitten. So the fact that your 18-month-old is biting is nothing to freak out about. Your son can't communicate. He can't say anything. He can't let people know what he wants to do, where he wants to go, if he wants to eat. And so the only thing he thinks he can do when he's mad is either to hit or pull hair or bite. And biting is a pretty surefire way to get somebody's attention. Now, um, what I would encourage you to do is to, whenever he bites, and you catch him biting or right after, you get down on his level, you put your hands on your shoulders, you put him very firmly on his shoulders, you look him in the face and say, no biting. Now, doing that once, twice, 3 times, 8 times isn't going to make it. You have to do this over and over and over. Now, don't over explain to him, like, don't bite because it hurts people's feelings and it hurts, and you don't want to be hurt and you don't want them to cry and then their parents are going to get. Don't do that. Just say no biting, period. If he's old enough to sit in a timeout, which he probably should be, put him in a timeout as well. So alternate no biting with putting him in a timeout. Do it over and over, and it'll reinforce to him that he can't bite. Now, it will go away. It'll go away probably later than you want it to, but it will go away. I can count on one hand, if any, the amount of patients I've had who've gone to kindergarten still biting. If it's still biting by kindergarten, they need more help than I can give them. So here's what I would not do. Common mistakes parents make. Don't bite him back. It sounds silly, but a lot of parents feel that they want to show the child how badly it feels, so they bite their kids back. Don't do that. Don't spank. Don't yell. Just be very firm with your voice. You can elevate your voice. You can make it a little bit louder, but don't yell, because whenever a child thinks you're out of control, they're not going to listen to a word you say. Your pediatrician's right. He'll get past this. Okay. 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 Another great question from a dad. Um, Dear Dr. Meg, my daughter's 6. She's smart and loving and loves her family and looks for opportunities to give to others and to help people. I couldn't be prouder of her. Anyway, over the past year or so, my wife and I have been seeing a troubling aspect of her personality coming out. She has anxiety. I know every kid is scared of the unknown, but this seems extreme. She's scared of sleeping in her room because we might have a fire. Last week, we had a tornado warning in our area, and she was so afraid she shook herself to sleep at the kitchen table. And the one that worries me the most happened just a few nights ago. She opened up to me that she's afraid that someone in her house will die. Now, don't get me wrong. I know kids have fears, but I'm just thinking that our daughter's fears are out of proportion to the things that um, but I'm just concerned that our daughter's response to her, sorry, but I'm just, sorry, don't get me wrong, Dr. Meeker, don't get me wrong. I know kids have fears. I had irrational fears at her age, and I struggle with anxiety and depression now, and so does my wife. We're just wondering if our daughter is overreacting to her fears and what we should do about it. Well, I'm so glad that you wrote in, because you can do a lot to help your daughter. First of all, kids between 6 and 8, and even a little bit older, start to think about death and dying. And in particular, they worry about themselves dying or their parents dying. They wonder, what is it going to be like? What's going to happen to them if their mother or father dies? How are they going to handle it if a pet dies? What will happen to them if they die? Are they going to go to heaven? Are they going to just, what is going to happen? Now, as a Christian, I tell my kids and grandkids that there is a heaven and that people go to heaven. And I try to tell them that when somebody's in heaven, they're much happier in heaven than they are here on earth, to really make them feel, sorry, you can just end there. And as a Christian, I tell my kids and my grandkids that there is a heaven, and that when people die and they go to heaven, they're much happier in heaven than they ever were on earth. So if you're comfortable telling your daughter that, I would say that. Your daughter is more specifically afraid of you dying. What will happen to her? So in a very simple and straightforward and calm manner, I would simply say, we all die at some point. Now, mom and dad are not going to die in the near future. If you can honestly tell her that, that you're not ill or anything, and encourage her and no, what's the word I'm looking for? Encourage her that, no, oh, sorry. And reassure her that you have a reasonably, sorry, and reassure her there's an excellent chance that you're not going to be dying soon. Because a lot of times kids just want to know if they're going to be okay. And so tell her that if something really crazy happened and mom or dad died, that grandma or grandpa or whoever are always there to take care of her. So in other words, let her know that there is a backup plan and she's going to be fine, but make sure she knows this is really highly unlikely that this is going to happen. The next thing that you need to do is okay. The next thing you need to do is address the fears that she has that something bad will happen in the house. A tornado, somebody may break in the house, or whatever. These are very common fears for kids. And you tell her that your job as a dad or your job as a mom is to make sure she's safe. That as long as you are in the house, you're going to make sure she'll be safe from fires, from anybody breaking in, from anybody hurting anybody in the house, and that it's your job to worry about that, not hers. In other words, literally say, you have a worry on your shoulders. Please give it to me and I'll take care of it. Because kids just need to know that somebody else is going to assume responsibility for bad stuff that's going to happen in the house. That's your responsibility. Finally, know that her fears are not going to be overcome quickly. It may take weeks for that to happen. So then what you say to her is, honey, if you ever wake up in the night or you're afraid, come into our room. I'm going to keep a sleeping bag and a pillow underneath our bed. So if you're afraid, come into our room, get your sleeping bag and your pillow. You can sleep the rest of the night there, but just don't wake us up. Are you starting a bad sleep pattern? No, you are comforting a frightened child. And when our kids are afraid, they need to be comforted. I'll guarantee you she's not going to sleep a long time on your floor, because it's a whole lot more uncomfortable on the floor than in your bed. Okay. This is another question from a dad. Dear Dr. Meg, I'm having a problem that is eating me up inside. I was raised in a good home and I'm feeling really good about being a dad. Our family dynamic, however, is a bit different. I am the communicator and my wife is not. It's like our roles are completely reversed. I want to be careful in how this comes across, but I feel like I have been given a woman's emotional and communication package. My issue is that although I'm confident in being a man, I feel that the role of being a dad sometimes, I won't use that. I feel that the role of being a dad is really hard. I feel like an outsider often. Even though my wife is not a great communicator and has trouble expressing her emotions, the kids open up to her and not meal and not me. I feel like I'm just a breadwinner and a technical support in the family, and I want to have a deeper connection with my kids. What should I do? Well, first of all, it's a great gift to be a sensitive, empathetic communicator as a dad in your family. Men are built many different ways. Many men are sensitive and they're empathic, and they are artistic. And then there are other men who are, I'm losing my mind here. Sorry. First of all, men are made very differently. There are some men who are very sensitive, they're empathic, in tune to people's feelings, good communicators. And then there are other men who don't want to talk about their feelings. They don't want to admit they have feelings. They just want to be the macho guy that is steely and never hurts and never cries and so forth. So it's much healthier for kids to be raised by somebody who is more empathetic, more empathic, and a better communicator. This is what I would do. First of all, don't take this personally. Don't be angry at your wife. Kids open up more quickly to the mothers in general because kids feel safer with their mothers. Mentally, kids feel that their mothers have to listen to them because they're the mom. Now, this is how kids feel. It's not how things necessarily are, but it's how they feel. Many kids feel that they can't open up to their dads because their dads may turn away. Their dads may judge them. Their dads may be harsh. So they're a little more afraid to open up to their dads than their mothers. Given that, you can still move forward and deepen the bonds and the communication between you and your kids. I would ask every child if you can have one-on-one time for 30 minutes a week or every other week with each one of them. When you are with them, go to breakfast, go to the park, ride a bike, do something fun. This is not a time for you to press them for answers regarding why they won't communicate with you. What you want to do is just have relaxed fun time. And then once they get used to being with you one-on-one, they will open up to you eventually. That's really one of the best things that you can do to establish a deeper bond and connection with your kids. I will tell you, though, that over time, your kids, if you're willing and they sense that you want to listen to what they have to say, that you're willing to ask questions and hear them when they talk, they will open up, they will talk to you, and you'll have a much better sense of what's going on in their lives. You are, I guarantee, far more than just the breadwinner and the technical support. You're a very interested, curious, loving dad, and your kids will know that if you just follow a few of these very simple rules.